Before we get into some Minnesota Vikings cut candidates, do you want to become a more informed Minnesota Vikings fan? Well, if you do, hit that subscribe button. I want to be your go-to Vikings YouTube channel for any news, rumors that come out around your team. Lock us in and hit that subscribe button. We're going to keep you informed with whatever it may be. Hit that sub button and let's get into it. Before I give you guys 5 Minnesota Vikings cut candidates, let's show some love to the best wide receiver in the NFL as he was granted the honor of being a 99 overall in this year's upcoming Madden. He's actually the only wide receiver to be a 99 overall. He was 99, Tyreek Hill was a 98, and Devontae Adams was a 97 overall. So shout out to Justin Jefferson. Pretty cool honor for him. He posted a cool video on his Twitter kind of unboxing the whole reveal of him becoming a 99 overall. Pretty special moment for him. Kind of solidifies him as the best wide receiver, at least in Madden's eyes. So shout out to Jettas becoming the only 99 overall receiver in the league this year. But now on today's show, we got 5 Minnesota Vikings cut candidates with training camp a couple weeks away and some position battles that are going to be fought out during camp. I got 5 guys that may be a little bit shocking to you that could get cut from this final 53-man unit. But the first name on my list is the safety nickel corner hybrid Camryn Bynum out of Colorado. Obviously, in college, he played that corner position. Then Mike Zimmer, when he was the head coach of the Vikes, he switched him over to that safety spot. But I do think he has a chance of being cut from this roster. And it has nothing to do with his play. Obviously, last year, he wasn't the most successful, wasn't the most productive, but he was still all right. But I think it comes down to other guys. Like, you are going to see Lewis Cine be a huge role and play a huge factor in this Vikings defense this next year. We know his versatility, and that's something Brian Flores loves in his safeties. Put him in the box, drop him in the deep coverage, whatever it may be. He will excel in that position. Same with Jefferson Smith, another very versatile guy, but it comes down to the guys behind those two. Josh Metellus, we have heard he has been absolutely balling out during mandatory minicamp a couple weeks ago, and he kind of looks like he's going to be taking that next step this upcoming year. But then Jihad Ward, the third-round pick out of LSU, Vikings coaches are very impressed with his play, and that's kind of speaking to the point of I wouldn't be shocked if Camryn Bynum actually, is cut. I am giving you guys 5 shocking names that, the Vikings could move off of. But if the Vikings only want to keep 4 safeties, I probably would think Camryn Bynum is the odd man out. Like, Lewis Cine and Jefferson Smith, for sure locks. And I'd probably consider Josh Metellus a for sure lock as well. But if they have to decide between Camryn Bynum and Jihad Ward, don't be shocked at all if they decide to go with the rookie and the young gun and move off of Camryn Bynum and do cut him. So keep your eyes open for a Camryn Bynum cut. Number 2 on my list is I guess I would say an infamous Minnesota Vikings offensive lineman in Oli Udoh. Oli Udoh, he's been kind of that swing tackle, and then he also played a little guard last year. And when he was actually filling in at right tackle for Brian O'Neill this past season, he wasn't bad, but he's listed as a guard right now, and that's where the Vikings are going to play him in this upcoming year. But as of last year, he was solid for the Minnesota Vikings as that kind of swing tackle. That's why I like his game. I mean, his PFF numbers this past season, kind of middle of the pack. 73.6 overall, very solid, and according to PFF in terms of pass blocking at a 76.8, and then his run blocking grade, very solid as well at 71.4. That's why I think Oli Udoh, don't cut him. I think he's a very solid backup option. He can legit play 4 positions on the offensive line. He may not be the best at them, but he's a serviceable backup, and he can fill in for a game or two. And listen, we know he got his ass kicked in that Giants playoff game. I mean, he was letting pressures and just overall, pressures in Kirk's face throughout an entire, game against the Giants, but I do think he is a solid option, mainly just because of his versatility that he can play along that offensive line. But before we get into the final 3 names on my shocking Minnesota Vikings cut candidate list, name a shocking Vikings cut candidate down in the comment section. I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video, so YouTube's going to throw an ad break your way. Sit back, let it play, and give me a name for a shocking Minnesota Vikings cut candidate. Number 3 on this list is actually the quarterback, Nick Mullens, who we traded for from the Las Vegas Raiders before last season got underway. And Nick Mullens held down the quarterback 2 spot for the Minnesota Vikings all of last season. It really didn't really have any competition behind him to challenge him for that QB2 spot. But now we do have competition because the Vikings drafted Jaren Hall out of BYU in the 5th round of this past NFL draft. And a lot of reports are coming out that Vikings coaches want him to be the quarterback 2 instead of Nick Mullens. And if you take a look at Jaren Hall back at his BYU days, he was pretty solid. I mean, he put up great numbers for that BYU team. 66% completion percentage through just over 3,100 yards, and he has that dual threat ability where he did run for 350 on the ground, but it's that touchdown to interception ratio that stands out to me a lot. 34 touchdowns to 6 interceptions for Jaren Hall at BYU last season. I would go Jaren Hall as QB2 just because he's the more fun option. We kind of know what Nick Mullens is in his NFL career. He's a serviceable backup, but I think Jaren Hall kind of has that spark. He's got that spunk, and he's got that untapped potential that I would put him at QB2 on this roster, and I can't wait to see him play during preseason and just to see what the Vikings have, see if they maybe have a hidden gem in Jaren Hall that they took in the 5th round last season. Now we got 2 more names to wrap up this list, and we're going to kind of tag them together here. That's DJ Wonnum and Patrick Jones, both being edge rushers for the Vikings. We got a loaded edge room in terms of depth, but I do think the Vikings edge room is going to come down to obviously the Danielle Hunter situation. I really doubt that either of them do end up getting cut from the team just because I do believe in their potential. If I had to pick one to keep on this team, I'd probably lean Patrick Jones. I think we kind of know who DJ Wonnum is. I think he's a solid rotation guy. He's not too good against the run. He's a third down pass specialist. He's kind of a garbage version of Yannick Ngakoue in that sense, where he's just a pin your ears back, get to the quarterback type of guy. But who knows? Like if Danielle Hunter does end up staying, I wouldn't think it would be the most shocking thing in the world that maybe DJ Wonnum does get cut. He had 7 sacks in his second year. We all thought in year 3 he would kind of take that next leap. He just really didn't, and he didn't really look too well, and he was frankly terrible against the run the entire season. And the Vikings defense, they need to change a pace after last season where they were terrible in every statistical category. So if Danielle Hunter, if he does remain on this team and he is a part of that final 53-man roster, you never know. Maybe a guy like DJ Wonnum or Patrick Jones could get cut. But it's a fun question I want to throw you guys' way because Danielle Hunter is my favorite player on the Minnesota Vikings, not named Justin Jefferson. That's kind of the cop-out answer. So I'm going to ask you guys, who is your favorite player on the Vikings? One, no, you are not allowed to say Justin Jefferson at all. No Jettas in the chat. Give me your favorite player on the Vikings, not named Justin Jefferson. And an honorable mention that I will say here is Kene Nwangwu, and it kind of hurts my heart to say that. But I was just looking at the Vikings roster overall, and I think he might have a chance to get cut. I really doubt this. I would give this, maybe a less than 1% chance. But maybe the Vikings say, screw it, we're just going to run 4 running backs this year because we do know Ty Chandler has that kick return ability. We know Kene Nwangwu, he is an absolute dog in the kick return game. I mean, he had a kick return touchdown this past year against the Patriots, which was a huge pivotal play in that Thanksgiving primetime game, which he was fantastic. I mean, that run just, fired me up when the Vikings, I think they just gave up a touchdown, then he housed it the next play. But I mean, if they want to roll out just Madison, Chandler, Dwayne McBride, and CJ Ham, and then just put Ty Chandler back to that kick return spot, I don't think it would be the craziest thing in the world to, cut Kene Nwangwu. But I will say this, Kwesi, I know you're watching this video. I know you tune in the Vikings now all the time. Don't you do it. Keep Kene Nwangwu on this team. I love his kick return ability. He had 2 kick returns for touchdowns in his rookie year, had another one last year, and teams just frankly just stopped kicking to him. They just said, you know what, he's too dangerous back there, and we saw teams just kept kicking it out of the back of the end zone last season. So Kwesi, I'd keep Kene Nwangwu on the team, and maybe Kevin O'Connell, maybe give him a gadget play here or there. Give him a running back screen, put him in the slot, put him out wide, give him a wide receiver screen, whatever it may be, because he is so explosive, so elusive. And I promise you, if he would get cut, there would be a lot of teams in the NFL picking up that phone and calling his agent, trying to get them to their respective franchises. But guys, hit that subscribe button, stay in the loop of all Vikings news and rumors up until the NFL season. Training camp, just a couple weeks away, so we will have you guys covered on whatever it may be around the Vikes. See you guys next time, and as always, let's go Vikes.